one of the major academic biases, so it's about us academics mainly, this talk, so one of the big problems in describing concepts is that almost all famous and really fine scholars published articles on conceptual and linguistic gaps in languages, lexical gaps. So all, Kenneth Hale, Bob Dixon, you name them, all of them wrote papers really titled Gaps in Concepts and Cultures. And Levinson and Brown, they wrote this article on the conceptual gap, linguistic and conceptual gap of left and right in this South American language. And they say they don't have left and right, and they say this is a gap. Yeah? And the explanation is, this is not the way these people think about space. But why should they? So in referring to this as a gap is imposing our concepts, our structures on those thoughts, which means they are the ones actually imposing a frame as a standard and compare those other thoughts, perspectives in this way. That's one of the problems. Another problem is that we linguists always like to catch attention by media by coming up with unique examples of the languages we are studying. So we will take something catchy out of their context, and all of us did this, I mean, including me. We say that in our language there is no term for animal, and there are 80, like these are very common examples, there are 90 terms for camels in Somali, or 80 terms for reddish cattle skin patterns in Ma, in the language of the Maasai, Samburu and Chamus. So these are common examples, and this is to attract attention from the media and wider audience. But this is a very difficult, a very dangerous thing, because they are out of context, and they don't really explain anything. If you don't explain the culture contexts, you don't understand what they mean. And usually they are combined. So they say they have 900 terms for camel, but they have no generic term for cattle. So there is not a single term for referring to all cattle, but 90. So this is the same thing, to say there is no term or there are too many. And it's prejudice, and it doesn't really help to explain concepts. And one of the famous examples is this snow, you know, where, like, I mean, there are many, so this is just one of them, where they say there are 49 terms for different kinds of snow, but no generic term for snow. And when you look into the details, people who know the languages, they are referred to as Inuit or by other names, they say that it's not true. The fact is that the root for snow may be modified by suffixes to elaborate on the speech act. So the status of the speaker, the situation in which this word is used, or the syntactic role affects the term, and then it looks like a different name for snow, but in fact it's not. So the whole story is not valid. So that means we shouldn't bring out those examples without explaining the cultural context and without trying to explain the true meaning, the underlying meanings. So now I'm coming to the people I work with, so it's Kwe and Anikwe. These are two pictures. The Kwe are hunter-gatherers in the desert area, and the Anikwe are river bushmen. They're called river people and and bushmen in the past. And this is where they are. So it's up there in the Caprivi Strip and northern part of Botswana. And one of the books which I really like is written by my teacher Bernd Heine, and it's The Cognitive Foundation of Grammar. And these are the three main premises of his book. And he says, so there are universals in conceptualization of the world, in the languages of the world, because we all have the same facilities to perceive the world, the same the same general kinds of experiences, and share the same communicative needs. And I think this is not true. I mean, none of them really holds, and this is other main premises. So I think we don't have the same faculties to perceive the world. Like when I went go for hunting with this Kwe, they can see tiny little bees. They are stingless bees. They are really tiny, and they can see them for long distances. I mean, I have no chance to see anything. And they exactly see where they disappear in the tree, and then they open the tree for honey. So, I mean, this is a very basic thing. Then, just funny enough, we didn't really talk about that, but the Kwe, they say that the rain walks on feet through the land. And in Germany, this would not make much sense because we don't see the rain walking. But this picture, you see, this is a quite typical rain in Namibia. So you actually see the rain walking, and I'm now enlarging this picture. You see the legs of the rain. You see, it really walks through the land. So it's what I mean is we don't make the same experiences. First of all, we have different economies. They are hunter-gatherers, but even the natural environment is different. So there are different kinds of features which we might not expect